I've been seeing these butterfly boho braids everywhere on YouTube, so I decided to try it. But I did crochet method. I started off with 4 braids. I made those braids really tight, and I also left pieces in front, like a tiny section. I took my crochet pin and I hooked it in between my braids after the first section, and I divided my attachment into 2 pieces and wrapped it on the crochet pin, pulled it in, open the pin and remove it, then pull out one side of the braid while you're holding the other side of the braid. Also make sure they are equal. So that was what I did all around. Hook the crochet pin, attach your extension or your attachment, close the pin and pull. It's so easy. I continued to do that till the back, and also as I went along I kept on increasing the size of the attachment. For the first 2 or 3 they were tiny, and for the rest it got bigger and bigger. Now that I've attached everything all the way to the back of my hair, it's time to start weaving. I loosened the front section that I cut out. Even though you can have more, I took a very tiny piece. That was what I used. So I start weaving it normally, as you can see, and then carefully I start adding the crochet extension that I put in. So just watch the video carefully and you'll see I was trying to be really careful in selecting the pieces in front because I wanted it to look really neat. But for the back, you don't have to take your time and be careful. But for the front, it will be best if you do. Also, the attachment kept on tangling, so take note of that. You have to keep pulling out every time you weave. As you can see, I'm adding the extension to the braids and weaving it. So I go to the next side and then pick one of the extensions because they will be divided. I pick it, add it in, and that's just what I kept doing, adding from each side one by one. Also, I forgot to mention the braids have to be very loose, like very loose when you are using the extension. When you're starting with your hair, you can make it a bit tight, but once you get to the extension, it has to be very loose because that's what gives the butterfly effect. So the looser or the less tight it is, the more finer it comes, or the closer it comes to a butterfly braid. I hope you guys get. So just make sure your braids are loose as you can make it, extremely loose, so that when you're pulling out very soon it will be so easy for you. Once you get to the bottom, you're going to add the braid, the end of your first braid, and weave it all together like this. Also, just keep remembering to make it loose because that's where the butterfly look really comes from. I weaved it till where I wanted it to be, and then I tied it with a rubber band, the tiny rubber band, twice. So make sure the rubber band is not that tight, or you can use a hairpin. And now I'm just pulling out from each side of the braid like I'm doing. So this is what I was talking about when I said make sure your braid is loose so you can do this. So you can see how easy it is for me to pull it out. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do all the way back up, and you can see the butterfly effect is coming out little by little. If you want it to be extra fluffy, just pull really hard on it. and that's how you get it. I kept on pulling to the top of my braids, and you can see how it's coming. It doesn't look like a normal braid. Here's a closer view in the front. You can see how I'm pulling on one side of the braid and then going on to the next. You can also use a ragtail comb or any comb if you can't pull it out with your hand, because in front it's a bit tighter, not as big as the back, so it might be harder to find the sides to pull on, but just keep on pulling. You can see the difference from the tight side versus the loose side. So I did that till I got to the front. I had to be more careful here because my hair was really in the front. So yes, this is the look. I still went in and pulled it out a bit more, like 2 or 3 times, and then I went on to the second braid. I started by weaving the front section of my natural hair, then I kept on adding the extensions that I crocheted in. So this is a better view. I'm just going to leave it for you guys to see it better, and yeah. I realized I wasn't making it as loose as I needed to be. So I went back, kept on making it less tight, very, very loose. And that's just all. Keep on breathing. At this point, I already sort of knew what I was doing, so it wasn't hard to pick the extensions, but be very noticeable of your hair tangling up because it kept on tangling, so I had to be very careful when weaving it. You can see me kind of pulling it out a bit. Yes, so try and avoid that if you can. So this is what it's looking like. Remember, there's a braid under. I couldn't really cover it, but it doesn't matter because it won't be showing like this. I went ahead and did the coil, so I'm going to show you how I did that now. So I folded the coil into two, but you don't need these two to be equal, and then just insert the crochet pin at the side of your real hair. Hook the coily extension on it, close your crochet pin and pull it out, and remove the crochet pin and just tie the coils 3 times. At least that's what I did to make it tight. And that is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you were able to learn how to make your own butterfly braids. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section. Also, check out my first butterfly braids tutorial. I didn't use crochet.
Who you know bad like this? Who you know hop on the beat like this? Other bad girls want to wine pon this. Make a step forward down like a